Hi guys, so I'm back. Today is Sunday, November 26th, and I get us started tonight with this, what I hope will be a very brief video about Trump. What happened was one of my earliest viewers asked a question about Trump that I thought was really great. And as I move towards both experimenting and simplifying the readings in a way, I thought the way he asked the question was really perfect. And what he asked was, has Trump committed treason against the USA? And if so, will he be convicted? So I thought, why not just ask that question? And instead of having a 9-card reading, 9-position reading, right? Why not have 2, right? Because the question is direct enough and is simple enough. And I feel like we've gone over the background of most of these questions, and I've done a lot of readings on Trump and specifics, so it's fine if we do that, okay? So I'm going to do that, and you can see that I've already also written parts of the question next to the 1 and 2, and then the other question under 3 and 4. And I just wanted to emphasize here that this is a way to detach the question from the traditional structure of the Lenormand, which is read in blocks. I'm just taking a little chunk out and reading everything that's contained within this 2-card realm. Of course, I'm looking up and down because it makes a lot of sense, but the idea is that this becomes more modular, where it's really about that row that answers the specific question, okay? All right, so if we look at 1 and 2, it seems pretty clear to me that, yeah, the answer is yes, because we have the Page of Wands. And what the Page of Wands really means is ideas, right? So a person with the beginning of an idea, an exciting idea, and thoughts, basically. So what do we have there? We have the Lady, which we've talked about extensively, means Russia. And what do we have next to it? We have the Dog, which means loyal. Okay, so he is friends with Russia, he's loyal to Russia, and we have the 4 of Wands in position 2, which means, we've talked about this before, it's a kind of card of home celebration, and we see that it means, within the context of these readings that I've been doing about the investigation, it means the USA, and it means the USA upside down. So it's saying that he is loyal to turning the USA upside down because he's friends with Russia and because he likes the ideas that come from Russia. Okay, so to me that's very clear. Within the context of this simple reading and the simple question, the answer is yes. And then if we look at the question, basically the second part of the question, if so, will he be convicted? I think the answer is yes. And the reason why I say this is we have the Queen of Pentacles overturned, which I've discussed before, that the queens, whenever they appear, they are, to me, basically the pure essence of whatever element. So this is swords. So upside down, that means anger and manipulation. Right, so not manipulation is that, but basically anger, like the wrong side of swords. And it doesn't really represent a person. So what I feel it means is that the revelations that are going to come up are going to make people very angry. And they're angry about a deal, right? It's the deal here, the Ring card. And right next to it we have the Scythe. Yes. My favorite card, which has showed up for a lot of people who have been doing bad things. And because we have the Scythe at the end, to me it means like, right? I think it does mean that it's an ending, okay, to him. That's his end. It's a sudden end, and yeah, and it's really not, what else are you going to say about Scythe? It's like, bye. Bye. Five, 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 five. And we have the Page of Swords, which again it reverts back to the idea of this like aggression, this minor aggression, this microaggression in a way. I think it's about focus, but it's also about aggression. So in a way, yeah, that's what I mean. When I first looked at it, I thought, okay, is he gonna cut a deal? But who is he gonna cut a deal against? Nobody. He's the target of everything, right? He's the one who committed the crime. It's not like you can cut a deal with any, right? It's just showing, if we look at the Lenormand, the square that we have, the 1 and 3, he has a deal with the lady, and he has a deal with Russia, basically. And the lady, and he's the dog here. He's loyal to the lady, and the dog gets cut. So the loyalist gets cut. And I'm not saying that there's going to be death penalty or anything, but we know that, remember how Miller, in the indictment for Manafort, and all those, the other guy too, he said very clearly, obviously, okay, by the way, I'm not a lawyer, maybe it doesn't mean that much, but he said at the beginning of, if you read the actual indictment, it says crimes against the United States. And of course, apparently, a lot of these federal crimes, that's how they worded it. I don't think the Miller is a Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, as we know, Mr. Miller is a person who does things casually, right? I think he's sending a strong message, and I think the fact that there's a ring here, it's saying you're a loyalist to the other country, and you made a deal with them, and that leads to your end. That's an ending, okay? So I think, yes, he will be convicted. There's no exit from here, okay? There's no... Yeah, I don't see how he's going to get a plea bargain, or I don't know, right? I mean, what do you do after this? Oh, yes, I betrayed the country. Great, can I go get a milkshake? No, bye. Okay, so anyway, so that's that, right? And then, okay, this is kind of funny. I'm going to show you what I did, because I have this ongoing obsession. It's so embarrassing. I have an ongoing obsession with ADX Florence, the maximum security prison in Colorado, where the Unabomber, El Chapo, is there. Can you, and I imagine, like, oh my God, I just wish Donald Trump would go to ADX. I keep imagining, yesterday I was imagining that he was going to go to ADX Florence, and we're going to organize a rave in that small town in Colorado, like the Burning Man. We're going to have a different kind of, like, some sort of weird, like, block party at the town where ADX Florence is located, to commemorate every year that he's in prison at ADX Florence. But of course, I'm imagining things, because it's like the super high security prison where all the 9/11 dudes are, Bomber, the hardcore actual mafioso dudes who kill people and everything. So, so yeah, so I kept imagining. So I asked the question. I was like, so is there a chance he could possibly go to ADX Florence? And the answer is, okay, yes, it could. And I think, honestly, I just wanted to show you just for fun. But maybe, as you can see the question, any chances of him going to ADX Florence Supermax prison? And yes, if I look at the cards, yes, there are chances, and I'll tell you why. But I do think this is heavily influenced by my own fantasy, my own interest in the subject. So you have the Seven of Cups, number 5 and 6. You have Seven of Cups turned upside down, which means a person who's committed to this kind of illusion and disinformation, right? And this basically this pattern of deceit, which is what we have here, leads to the stork. And this stork is an interesting card. It's a card of progress, but it's also the card of flight. Because, of course, if he's going to go to ADX Florence, he can't just drive there. It's far, right? So it has to fly over there. I'm imagining him, like, going to the airplane and going. Because I was going to do this a vignette. I'm thinking of the airport sign. Next stop, ADX Florence Supermax Security Prison. So anyway, so it could be a reference to flight, to not escape, but flying somewhere. And then we have a fantastic combination of cards in number 6. Judgment upside down, which means judgment is against him, and we have the guilt card. So that means, dude, you're guilty by. Okay. And if we look at the second column, 2, 4, and 6, the guilty, the ending of the loyalist through guilt, through guilty verdict. So, yes, I definitely think he's going to be found guilty. I don't know. Obviously, like I said, this is, I didn't, it's almost like I didn't pick it like this, but I feel like this is too much. Like if he went to ADX Florence, I just, I don't know what to do. I just, I don't know. I think I have a heart attack or something of happiness. And I wish that El Chapo would do something. Can you imagine? El Chapo was like really tough. Like, cabron, whatever. You know, I don't know. But like, so funny. So anyway, so, yeah. So anyway, so that was this is how I entertain myself sometimes. I'm like, oh, he's going to ADX Florence. And he'll be in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day. And there's not going to be... Anyway, so it's kind of bad. I know it's bad. Sometimes I do think these things. So just for entertainment purposes, I added that last row. But yes, to the question of the viewer, the answer is yes. It looks like he has committed treason. And yes, it looks like he'll be convicted. All right? So that was the brief question. Has Trump committed treason? And will he be found guilty? I believe so. Yes. Let's hope. Let's pray. All right. Okay. Bye. Till next time.